opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree. Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nooga Radio, 92.7 Sports. Now.
Well, good evening to you, and welcome to Thursday night edition of Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. We have got a studio full, well, at least almost full, because we had Nick in here. It would be quite a crowd. Anyway, it's the Thursday night. That means Chattanooga Eagles football discussion here. We've got this gentleman right here, Hayden Clark. And if he will slide into his right a little bit, we have got
Zach McCarter.
Zach McCarter, the secondary defensive backs coach and special teams. And then we have the team mascot out in the lobby who also serves as the GM. That's Nick LaFew. Hi, Nick. Anyway, no, we're kidding. We have fun with Nick. He is awesome to deal with. Really is, compared to some of the coaches that we've had in our presence over the years. But Hayden is trying to find a way to oust him from the GM's job, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon.
Next year.
At least not until after Friday or Saturday night's game.
Yes, sir.
All right. Saturday night, you've got the Dalton Danger over at Chattanooga Central High School. Coach, we've talked about this over the last several weeks. We're getting down to crunch time. The Danger, from what I understand, they went 15-0 last year. Mm-hmm. Backyard brawl in store for fans.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. You're going to come out Friday or Saturday night. You're going to see a really good football game with both teams. Hopefully this weather holds off. We'll be there, rain or shine, though. So come on out. It's going to be a fun one.
And sometimes football games are better in the rain and mud. I mean, it may make it miserable if you're on the losing end, but I'm telling you, I've seen some dandies throughout the years. Coach McCarter, do you feel like your defense, your secondary, and special teams are ready for this exhibition match?
I think we do. I think we're about as prepared as we can be with the limited amount of practices we've had. Probably down to 7 total now?
Maybe
7 practices, and we got a lot of new guys this year. 2 new starters in the secondary alone. So we've done everything we can to get them prepared, and we'll really get a good taste of it Saturday.
Who are you looking at to really lead the way for your defensive scheme that you've got set in place?
As a whole defense, I would say J-Rob's kind of the anchor. He's our middle linebacker.
And his real name is?
Jonathan Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
J-Rob.
J-Rob, yeah.
J-Rob, yeah.
Played at Central, and he's kind of the anchor of the defense. Middle linebacker, makes all the calls, the checks, everything like that, and just a leader on defense, more or less.
And then as far as with special teams, do you feel like you got a kicking game, or are we looking at 2-point conversions?
We'll find out Saturday. That remains to be determined.
Now, from what I have heard from you last week, you've got a couple kickers, but you haven't found one that you're set on yet? Either one of you can answer that one.
There's 3 kickers.
3 kickers?
Yeah, there's 3. They all do a good job. They're going to come in, and, we'll see how everything goes. We got one guy that's probably leading the pack right now, especially in the kicking game.
It's still an interview Saturday, though. Yeah, everybody's going to get their first shot.
It's a dress rehearsal for these guys.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you're going to be able to dress how many, 53?
There will probably be close to 70 dressed on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
And then we'll probably dwindle that number down, probably 65 to 60 at the end of Saturday night.
Okay. As long as you keep number 66 available for me.
I got you.
All right. I know that's not a typical number for a secondary person, but
we'll throw you back there in the safety. Let this guy coach up. We'll be all right.
All right. You don't think he'll lead me astray?
No, 100%.
Okay.
You're golden.
All right. But anyway, Chattanooga Eagles football will be on 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4 beginning Saturday night. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock. We will go on the air at 6:45 with countdown to kickoff. And it should be an interesting game, to say the least. You're in 2 different leagues, but this is a good test for both teams to see how well prepared either one of you are, as you head into league play here eventually.
It's going to be a fantastic football game. both teams coming off fantastic seasons from a year ago. We got second place and made a conference championship, just to throw that out there.
Name a few.
Just a conference championship. It wasn't a second place thing, but we got
second place nationally, though.
Yeah, second place nationally.
You were runner up.
Yeah. So they're coming off 15-0, played in the league. So we're going to get out there, and it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a really good football game to see.
Now, you had at least one practice since we talked last Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like that everybody is starting to feel the pressure? Hey, we need to really get buckled down.
It's sinking in. We have a chat that we also have. And those guys, you can tell everything talk wise, communication wise. Communication is still there, but just the side chatter is down. Everybody's starting to focus in, and they realize what's at stake this weekend. I think it's going to be a really good test for those guys. But I really like the focus that we're starting to see going into Saturday.
It's not like they're concentrating on their Xbox game or Madden 4 or whatever. That
they're probably still doing that. Focusing up and trying to come up with a few trick plays. But that's just who they are. It's okay.
Now, do you give them a lot of latitude? If they see the way the scheme is, whether it's Dalton's offense and we're on defense, do you give them latitude to change things up? I mean, without yelling and audible from the sidelines?
Yeah, especially from the offensive side. We discussed this. They have full range of the offense. When we send in a play, if the quarterback comes up and he doesn't like the play that's given, he can completely change it to whatever he wants to do. Obviously, if he changes to something wrong, I'm going to be in his ear. But for the most part, he does a really good job of that stuff. We had a lot of success with it last season. So I expect him to do really good things off that. From the defensive side, I mean, they kind of do what they want to do anyways. So,
completely true.
No, those guys run around. They're really good over there.
Here's what I'm surmising from this. He allows the quarterback to run the thing because he's not a good offensive coach, and he leaves the defensive coaching to you so you can tell what plays are to be played and actually be successful, right? Exactly. Is that how it goes?
And we always get the earful, too. Not the
of
players,
course.
So.
See, if we run a bad play, it's the quarterback's fault. If we run a good play, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Defense messes up, it's always the coach's fault.
Defense messes up, it's always McCarter or Elrod's fault. It's one or two.
And he's not even here to defend himself.
He knows I love him. It's okay.
But at least it ain't LaFew that's making the calls.
Yes.
It could be worse.
It could be a lot worse. Could be a lot worse.
He's sitting out there oblivious to
no idea what's going on.
Right. Fortunately, Keon is keeping him company. But anyway, how pumped are you guys? I mean, because this is Dalton, taking on Chattanooga. I mean, it's got to mean a lot.
Other than going into that championship game last season, this is one of the feelings that I haven't felt in a really long time. I'm excited. I can't even get my day straight. It feels like a Friday right now, but it's Thursday. The week is drug on. I just can't wait to get there and get everything ready and walk out on the field. I'm ecstatic for these guys.
What will fans expect to see when they come and see the Eagles and Danger go head to head?
I expect this to be a really hard-hitting physical football game. I hope it's fun for all of them. I hope they can all have a good time. It's going to be a family environment. We'll have you guys up there doing the radio broadcast and all that fun stuff. There's going to be T-shirts for sale. We'll have a really good cook doing the concession stand, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a really fun environment, especially if coming off of that Super Bowl hangover where it's like, oh, no more football. Well, now is your time. You can come check it out. So it's going to be a really fun environment.
You think it's going to be a high-scoring contest?
One team will be, I think. No, I'm just kidding. I think it'll probably be one of those football games where it's around that probably 35, 35-21, 35-28, somewhere in there. I think it'll be close in the first half. Really, really close in the first half. And then I think somebody's going to find a way to win it.
So you think all the excitement is going to be done in the first half, and then
I think the excitement
wait until the fourth quarter to get that
I think,
icing on the cake?
I think that first half, everybody's going to be playing all off of emotion. So, I think everybody will play a really close first half. It's going to be who can make the less mistakes. Whoever minimizes the mistakes in the first half has a really good chance in the second half. But I think in that second half, you'll see one of the two teams run away from each other.
How much do you know about Dalton? I mean, have you been able to scout them or see any film from last year?
We've watched a little bit of film together as a staff. The players have watched some stuff. I've never been to one of their football games. I've heard a lot about them. I know they're big. I know they're fast. I know they're really experienced. So, they have that edge on us in that aspect of things. So, like I said, it's going to be – they know what we're going to do. We know what they're going to do. It's just who can do it better.
Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. We're here with Hayden Clark and first name again? Zach McCarter.
DB guy.
The DB guy. And, of course, we always have the entertaining Nick LaFew, the GM of the team. He got ousted as an assistant before the start of the season, probably for obvious reasons. But anyway, we're glad to have these guys in here on Thursday nights talking Chattanooga Eagles football. And if you've got a question you'd like to ask the coaches, please call in at 423-800-8949. 423-800-8949. Coach Clark, I mean, with this, where do you feel like you're going to see the most productivity coming out of? I mean, I'm not trying to pick on any one particular, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, or what, but where do you feel like the most of our energy is going to come from in a successful Eagles victory?
I think our quarterback play has to be really good. Quarterback's going to have to play lights out. I think he's going to have to, because he hasn't gotten hit yet. Like he's going to get hit on Saturday. He's going to have to step up in the pocket and do what he's done at practice. I think he's going to have to play lights out to win. I think our running backs are kind of that hidden treasure back there. I think they're going to have a big night.
And your quarterback is going to be?
This is Hunter Moore. This will be his first time starting for us.
And what can you tell us about Hunter? Where is he from? What has he done?
Hunter graduated from East Hamilton High School. Went to play Central Arkansas.
My hometown.
And then transferred back here to UTC and walked on at UTC. And this is going to be his first season with us. Since Hunter's come in, he's been that kind of everybody wants to know what he's about. It's just like, oh yeah, he's got some talent, and then he comes out there and does some of the stuff he does, and it's like, wow, this kid can play. So I'm really excited to see how he does this Saturday. I'm really excited for him to get the opportunity to be back in football pads and playing a game. So that should be a lot of fun.
Back in his own backyard.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's right here, right down the road. So hopefully he brings out a pretty good crowd too.
Do you have a lot of local players? I mean, most football teams like the Eagles generally stick to the college or the outstanding high school players locally without having to bring in a lot from outside the area.
Most of our rosters pretty much from here. We got our Brainerd, Central, Howard. You got some Hickson guys. You got one or two Saudi kids. Got some East Hamilton, your Udawas. But then you do have a select few people that are from that North Georgia schools. We got two kids coming from Nashville. So, yeah, they make the trip. Dino's in Kentucky. We have that. Most of them are right around here. But then we probably have 10 to 15, I would say, coming from Georgia, Nashville, stuff like that. So it's a pretty wide variety of guys.
Now, this may be a trick question. It may appear to be, but it's not intended to be. What can you tell fans out there about the Gridiron Development Football League and what makes it unique other than the lack of their schedules?
The GDFL, it's a league that you know what you get when you sign up for it. It's some of the most talented guys, especially at this level, that are not playing college ball, that are not playing CFL arena, or hopefully in hopes of the NFL. But all those teams that we have in this league have people that played at that level. We rolled into the championship game last year, and I got a text on my phone the Wednesday before we rode up there, and he asked me for 14 guys with NFL and college experience. And I was like, oh boy. I was like, this might be a tough one. So there's a lot of football talent in this league. I think there's two guys that went on to play in the NFL from this league. One of them is actually the starting corner for the Saints. So the league itself is really good exposure. And our first season last year, we had a guy that signed with the Indoor Football League in the AFL, and he's playing with the Nebraska Danger, and he actually plays tonight at 8 p.m. So when I leave here, that's where I'll be going to watch that game on YouTube. So I'll look forward to that.
Now, we've got Lexington, Georgia Crush, and Georgia Knights, correct? That's in the division?
In our division, it's Lexington and then two of the Nashville teams.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Tennessee Lightning Bolts.
Correct.
And East Tennessee.
East Tennessee Bulldogs, I think it is.
Yeah. So, because from last year, it was a little bit different.
It's completely different.
Because you had Huntsville and East Alabama.
Yeah, it's completely different division this year.
And do you feel like that with that revamped conference alignment and everything, it could be to our advantage? Just from what you know of the other teams and where we're at.
I know a lot about one of those football teams. It's
Okay.
their first year officially in the GDFL, but I know a lot about the Bulldogs team. The other two, I have no idea who they are.
Okay.
But I assume if they're coming into this league, they are established one point or another. It's not just some new team jumping into this league. So, I don't think the talent-wise, especially through the middle of the pack to the back end, is really even.
Okay. Talking with Hayden Clark and also with Zach McCarter. Got it right this time. From the Chattanooga Eagles. They are going to be in action this Saturday night here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM and 95.3 FM HD4 beginning at 6:45 thereabouts. We will start the countdown to kickoff. Myself, along with Keon Rose, will be bringing you all the action with all of the Chattanooga Eagles broadcasts all season long, whether it's home or away. So we want to encourage you to tune in. We'll always have Coach Clark with the countdown to kickoff talking about that particular evening's game more in detail than what we get here on a Thursday night, because between Thursday and Saturday, who knows, somebody may have gotten hurt, got sick or whatever, and, would be a quick change. But generally, Coach Clark is on top of things and gets some sort of premonition whether or not he can count on that person or not. But they're runner-up national champions last year in their first season. And that's with a lot of teams all over the eastern half of the U.S. And this year shouldn't be any different. And you won the Extreme Division or Extreme Conference Western Division title last year. So, and then you took a hard one on the chin there with Oklahoma Thunder.
It was definitely a tough one. That was a rough game.
Yeah, but we'll overcome that.
We'll be back.
Yes. So you can catch all that action right here on Nooga Radio. Don't forget, coming up here after 8 o'clock, 2 Millennials Talking. Keon Rose and Russell Stroud will be here in studio talking about various issues affecting millennials, and sometimes football could be one of those topics. Yeah, you just never know. But I don't think that discussion will go too far into sports because Russell's not into the sports like Keon and I. But we want to encourage you, if you can make it, Chattanooga Central High School, located just off Route 58 out toward Harrison. And there is actually 2 games going on that day. The first one at 3 o'clock, and then
canceled the first one. So, we had to cancel for the weather, just for the field conditions.
Okay.
For that second game, so we had to cancel that first one.
All right. So there is one game. It's at 7 o'clock, rain or shine, and hopefully the coaching staff and the players for Chattanooga will be shining as well under the lights there at Chattanooga Central High School. And if you would like to be a part of the Eagles as a sponsor or whatever, you can contact the Chattanooga Eagles by email at chattanoogaeagles@gmail.com. And the phone number is
423-802-9240.
Okay. And I believe that's yours.
That's my direct.
Okay. And then Nick.
No idea what his is.
77 something. 774-1236.
There you go.
And you can talk to the top cheese in the organization with Nick LaFew. It will be a conversation you will never, ever forget.
Never.
But a lot of great things. Really pumped and excited about bringing you Chattanooga Eagles football, and I think you'll enjoy it. And should be some exciting play if the defense holds their own there.
I think we'll be fine.
I got confidence in them. They'll be all right.
I mean,
they'll be all right back there.
We put the work in.
Yeah.
Right.
Unlike his offensive coaching.
Yes.
No.
I'm pretty sure the offensive coach torched the defense one practice, right?
1 out of 7.
1 out of 2 padded practices. Come on.
No, we have been shredded a couple times. I'll give it to him. That's true.
So, but a lot of great things. You've got a game that is tentatively set for April the 23rd,
21st,
21st, and that's with the Tennessee Lightning Bolts.
Tennessee Cobras.
Tennessee Cobras. All right. And that will be also held in the area. We'll disclose where that will be at in the near future and give you all the particulars on that. But the first exhibition game here with the Dalton Danger. Dalton coming in here with an impressive record from last season of 15-0. So it should be an interesting game. I wonder how much smack is going to be going on. Who's going to be chirping away?
It'll be loud for the first 5 minutes. After that, it'll go into a football game. And everybody will just kind of settle down and play their game. I won't say anything.
Boy, you're confident.
I'm pretty confident.
Now, as far as with the opposing team, I mean, has there been a lot of chatter from the Eagles about how bad they're going to kick them?
There's the fun talk on both sides of it. Both teams coming expecting to win. I'm not going to come up here and be like, oh, I hope we win. Both teams expect to win this football game. Both teams are very competitive. Both teams are very well coached. Both teams are, they play a similar game.
6:45 Saturday night, Chattanooga Eagles right here exclusively on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4. Back in a moment after the break, and we'll have a lot of other local sports to talk to you about. We'll see you on the other side.
Chattanooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
A Hickson man is on life support after a vicious attack in jail. 48-year-old Tim Cook was repeatedly kicked in the head by a fellow inmate. Sheriff says the accused attacker surprised him and kicked him in the head repeatedly before guards could pull him off. The TBI is handling the investigation. Meth lab components and large bags of crystal seized in Bradley County. According to WDEF, detectives seized about 8.5 ounces of meth worth about $23,000. The sheriff's office say they also took in about $1,100 in cash. The investigation on this drug distribution case continues. Hamilton County deputies have 2 suspects in custody after a chase that began on Highway 58 that ended in Meigs County yesterday afternoon. The chase ended near the Blythe Ferry boat ramp. Sheriffs aren't saying what started the chase, but they do say nobody was hurt in the pursuit. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, News Now.
Traffic, news, and information. Nooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
Expect fair to partly cloudy skies to continue through your nighttime. Cold overnight, lows mid and upper 20s. Now for your Wednesday, look for some sunshine with a breeze out of the north, though. Light cold, highs up around 40 with more mainly dry and cold weather expected through Friday. Celebrate the new year with Dixieland Fireworks, locally owned with the largest selection around. A Black Hat dealer with the lowest prices in Dixie. Dixieland Fireworks, just off I-75 on Ringgold Road, East Ridge. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM.
Get ready for country music legend T. Graham Brown.
I tell it like it used to be.
Saturday, February 24th, 7 p.m. at the Colonnade in Ringgold, Georgia. T. Graham Brown with special guest Robbie Hopkins. Tickets on sale now at colonnadecenter.org. Get your tickets now for T. Graham Brown.
Oh man, rush. I've got to get stuff for the party. Where can I go that's going to give me a wide selection of beer, wines, and spirits? Oh, I got it. I'll go to Harry's Wine and Spirits, Signal Mountain. Maybe East Brainerd Wine and Spirits in East Brainerd. I could go to Riley's Wines and Spirits in Hickson. Wow, look at the huge selection in here. Look at these great prices. Amazing. Oh yeah, I'm going to find something for my lady too. I'm going to make this party a success.
Make your party a success when you stop in at Harry's Wine and Spirits in Signal Mountain, East Brainerd Wine and Spirits in East Brainerd, and Riley's Wine and Spirits in Hickson.
Mom's Stew Pot, her exercise bike, her bookcase of cheap novels, Mom's Estate. Oh, just call Dan. He'll sort, organize, clear out, tag, sell, and in a few days, hand you a nice check. 314-4034. 314-4034.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with whom? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Let Goss Insurance in Chattanooga help you today. GossInsurance.wordpress.com. Goss, representing Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. GossInsurance.com. Goss. GossInsurance.com, representing Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. 875-2500, 875-2500. Want a business phone system that gives you Outlook integration, Salesforce integration, smartphone integration? Why desk sets and expensive lines? Turn smartphones into a cohesive business system. Call Signal 619-1200. Signal Voice and Data 619-1200.
Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM knows your opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree? Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nooga Radio, 92.7 Sports. Now.
Sports Talk with Sam Jordan here on Nooga Radio. Good evening to you. We're glad to have you along. It was fun and entertaining to have Hayden Clark and Zach McCarter from the Chattanooga Eagles, and of course Nick LeFew supervising out in the lobby area there, keeping Keon and Russell occupied there and entertained. But Chattanooga Eagles football coming up Saturday night, 6:45 approximate airtime, with the countdown to kickoff, and Keon and myself will be bringing you that broadcast from Chattanooga Central High School. Basketball season is in the secondary right now, the postseason, and a lot of great games going on. Top-ranked Good Pasture was just a little bit much for Notre Dame, and Notre Dame fell 52-37 to the Cougars last night, and great season for Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. Chattanooga Christian School boys advanced to the Division IIA Elite 8. So they will be continuing their opportunities in trying to get a state title. Hamilton Heights teams romp in the NACA National Tourney. They won 60-36, the Hawks did. Lady Hawks advanced with a 69-34 victory in their quest to continue on in the postseason. So the final 8, there's 6 area Division II teams that have advanced into the TSSAA Division II Class A and AA basketball tournament, which will be getting underway tomorrow and Saturday at various locations. The Baylor boys are the only team to earn a home game and will host Ainsworth on Saturday. McCallie will travel to MUS in another Class AA game, and CCS, Chattanooga Christian School, will play at North Point in a Class A matchup. In girls action, CCS, Baylor, and GPS will all travel to Memphis on Friday for Final 8 matchups. CCS will play North Point in South Haven, Mississippi. Baylor will play at Hutchinson, and GPS will be at Briarcrest. So it will be a busy weekend for a lot of our area teams, especially there on the Division II side. So congratulations to them, and the best of luck in their efforts. Last night we got to talk with Coach Tom Arth from the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, with the football team. 8th best recruiting class in the nation. And it was a pleasure having Coach Arth on the air with us in talking about those efforts. What really, amazes me is Coach Arth was able to get a pretty good defensive recruiting class after losing 3 of his top defensive assistants who went to Kent State. following a friend that invited him to come to that Division I program, even though it's a mid-major, but actually with a lot more opportunity, evidently, for those coaches. And Coach Arth was able to find some coaches that were already on staff, elevate them up into those positions, and also still be able to have a great class of recruits nationwide. Princeton had the best recruiting class in the nation, which typically, and like you may or may not know, being from the Northeast, Princeton Tigers aren't really a athletic kind of school. Not your typical athletic type of school, but Princeton has been making a resurgence. They've been pretty awesome with their basketball program. They have been in the NCAA basketball tournament numerous times and have actually pulled upsets from time to time in the NCAA basketball tournament March Madness that goes on every year. And but football has not really been one of their strong sports, but they have really made a concentrated effort here to turn things around. But, Chattanooga is not that far behind with some top prospects. They had 21 high school recruits that signed with UTC. They had 3 transfers, 2 from JUCO schools and 1 from Mississippi State. So that's a pretty good recruiting class. And, the gentleman that came over from Mississippi State is from the area, wanted to get back closer to home and really enjoy making a mark, here locally at UTC. So it was really great to see Coach Arth going into his second season and really doing an outstanding job in bringing some quality recruits to the Tennessee Valley area. And we also mentioned to you throughout the day today, Chattanooga State is adding volleyball to its athletic program offerings for women's volleyball in Division II in the National Junior College Athletic Association beginning this fall. Interim Athletic Director Tammy Swenson got the official approval from the Tennessee Board of Regents to add volleyball to Chattanooga State's athletic programs that already includes baseball, softball, and men's and women's basketball programs. So they've already got a coach in place who's very reputable, Janet Tate, who has had a lot of success here in the area. Tate, has worked with a lot of quality athletes. During college, she was named volleyball best defense, all-state, and captain while playing at UTC. And she utilized her considerable athletic skills to build an impressive resume in the sports world, racking up 14 volleyball coaches of the year awards, league championships, and tournament championships as well. In her years. And according to the release, it says, I am very excited about Chattanooga State's efforts to expand sports programs for women. And she's honored to be their first volleyball coach. And we're very excited to begin recruiting and getting quality players for the program, according to Coach Tate. So she's a native of Sequatchie County. And things are already underway, trying to get everything put together. It's either Cleveland State or Lee that actually had just recently as well started women's volleyball as well. So this is kind of a side note, as some of the smaller schools on the junior college level trying to advance and, expand their offerings for their student athletes, and Chattanooga State going on board with that big announcement. So it's awesome to see. And hopefully we'll be hearing some exciting things coming out of Chat State in regards to that. One of the things that we didn't get to talk about last night, because we've had representative from the Greater Chattanooga Sports Hall of Fame, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. We also had Coach Tom Arth, but Dalton State's women's golf team erased a 6-shot deficit and came back to win the Georgetown Invitational down in Florida, down in St. Augustine, and really did a great job. And, outstanding. They were tied, I believe, for second, and finally broke away out of that tie and were able to overcome a few obstacles along the way. But the first round leader, number 6 South Carolina Beaufort, finished as the runner-up in that invitational down in St. Augustine. So, very good job. Number 15 Southeastern out of Florida took home third, and Rhodes College ended up, and number 20 SCAD Atlanta rounding out the top 5. So awesome job and performances by the Dalton State women's golf team. So congratulations to them. NASCAR action going on this weekend, and they will be in Atlanta at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Airtime is 1 o'clock here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. As the racing season got underway last Sunday with the Great American Race with the Daytona 500. So things are getting underway. A lot of stories, lines that are out there. So it will be fun to see how things develop here in the second week, and then they'll head out west for that 1 or 2 week stint that they have out there. But Austin Dillon doing that bump and run right there with 3/4 of a lap to go, and edging out Eric Almirola, who was in the lead for the last several laps in that second playoff type of a run there in overtime, as they call it. But Darrell Bubba Wallace coming in second. He's the first African-American since 71 or 72 to place as high as he did in the Daytona 500. Denny Hamlin came in third, and Joey Logano and Chris Buescher coming in fifth. So it'll be interesting to see how things go this weekend down at Atlanta. And hopefully it will be even more exciting as well with this race. So, you can listen to all the action right here for NASCAR racing action with the Monster Energy Cup Series right here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4. Let's see. All right. According to Dale Jr., while we're talking a little bit of NASCAR, Dale Jr., who's now in the broadcast booth, made a statement the other day that Bubba Wallace drove like a veteran in the Daytona 500. So coming from Jr., that is a huge compliment. Jr. is with NBC Sports now in the broadcast booth, and of course, he's also got other things he's doing with podcasts that he's got, and just having a great time, not having to worry about racing a car. He still has his race team that he has on the Xfinity series, but he was enjoying the day, being the Grand Marshal for the 60th annual Daytona 500, and it was probably fitting with Austin winning the race in the number 3 car that his father made famous 17 years to the day with getting that Daytona 500 victory, that the number 3 car made it back to victory lane once again. So it was awesome to see, and I'm sure that he was enjoying the moment very, very much. So, it will be interesting to see if Austin can continue that. Even Dillon, after the race, in honoring that Daytona win, got a tattoo as well. So he definitely will not ever forget winning the Daytona 500 in 2018. So, congrats to him. But, it's going to be a fun weekend. Atlanta is one of the fun tracks to watch NASCAR racing. Not that any of them aren't, but it is unique. I have not ever been down there, but what I've seen on TV, it just looks like it is a real neat track. Talladega, Pocono, Dover, are some of the tracks that I really like in seeing. I've had the pleasure of seeing race at Pocono right in the front row. And it's like, it's a unique experience when you're on the front row right next to the fence and you've got a very good view for a few seconds, and it's like zoom, 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 by you in no time. But at Dover, I've had the pleasure of being up in one of the box suites and watching the race. And you know what? I mean, yeah, being there is one thing and it's great. But I think, with the way technology is and catching every angle that you can come across at a NASCAR race when you see it on TV actually gives you the full, complete picture. But you've got to experience being at the track. And it's just very unique. And in the chance possibility of talking with some of the drivers, getting an autograph, a lot of the drivers are very personable. And they will take the time to give you an autograph, and they really make it a great fan experience, to say the least. But, you got to try it out. Even on the local dirt track scene with Boyd's and I-75 Speedway and all the other tracks that are gradually getting into operation here already here. The drivers, the local drivers that are running those dirt tracks, you make them feel like the star. They're local homegrown talent. And over the years that I have done announcing with racing, with the dirt tracks and working at paved facilities as well, they give you a lot more of the experience that, makes it fun, especially for the little kids. And, that's one of the unique things that drivers, they get their followings because they work with the crowds, or not necessarily working the crowds, but working with them and just making it a fun experience by all. Appreciate the comments we've been getting here on Facebook Live. You can always send me a question via Facebook Live here at Nooga Radio. We're also broadcasting on Facebook Live as well as YouTube, besides on 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM, HD4, and, of course, live streaming it on NoogaRadio.com. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, beginning at 6 a.m., Chattanooga Morning News, right after CBS World and National News with Russ and Val. They'll get you updated with all the latest news and happenings from the overnight and what goes on throughout the morning. Traffic updates with Randy Price, and of course, sports with me, and weather with Chief Meteorologist Patrick Core from News 12 Now. And you can catch it every weekday morning from 6 to 9 a.m. And I know sometimes here in the last couple of days, because of where I live at, the way the traffic has been on I-75 and I-24 sometimes makes it precarious. And seeing different accidents on the way into work, and sometimes they just happen right in front of you. If we see something like that and they haven't talked about it, we get it to you and on the air, so that way you get the latest information out there. So, and then also Mike Gallagher on weekday mornings from 9 to noon. And then, of course, the Nooga Radio News Power Hour with Russ and Val. They get you all the latest information that's gone on during the morning. And then at 1 o'clock, Bloomberg Radio with Politics, Policy, Power, and Law. And that's till 3 o'clock. And then the Sean Hannity Show, News 12 Now, live at 6. From 6 to 6:30, and then Nooga Radio News with Russ and Val from 6:30 to 7. And, of course, you get back to me with Sports Talk with Sam Jordan, The Clutch with Keon Rose, and then the Alex Jones Show from 9 to 10, and then Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., and then Coast to Coast AM with George Noory. And great lineup here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Final moments for you to call in, 423-800-8949, 423-800-8949. Don't forget, Saturday night around 6:45, Chattanooga Eagles football. With the countdown to kickoff, myself, along with Keon Rose, will be bringing you that broadcast between the Chattanooga Eagles and the Dalton Danger. And then Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock, from the facilities of Motor Racing Network and Atlanta Motor Speedway, or actually it's PRN this weekend, Performance Racing Network, with the Atlanta Motor Speedway Fields of Honor Quick Trip 500. And we'll have all that action for you from the Performance Racing Network, as they will be taking on the next couple of races, and then MRN will come back in with with their particular races. But a lot of exciting sports action going on throughout the weekend, and you can catch that right here on Nooga Radio. And also, Set the Hook with Pat Rose. Very fun, entertaining show. We have it on a couple times throughout the weekend, actually 6 to 7 a.m. on Saturdays and noon to 1 p.m. Saturday as well. And then on Sunday from 7 to 8 a.m. and then 11 a.m. to noon. So you can catch Pat Rose with Set the Hook, one of the most popular outdoor shows on the radio. Tomorrow night, 7 to 8 o'clock, Nooga Radio Outdoors, Cindy will be here from Cindy's Choice with various guests and talking about the different outdoor activities going on. Randy Wharton also joining her in studio as well, along with other guests. So make sure you tune in for that as well. So Two Millennials Talking coming up next after CBS World and National News here on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow for all the various sports updates going on in our region. So with that all being said, we'll talk to you again next time with a sports update. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again with our sports updates, but again, Saturday night, 6:45, Chattanooga Eagles football here on Nooga Radio. Have a great night, folks.